It's time for Hot Topics on the Rocks with Alexander. Better pour yourself another.
This is hot. That's hot. That's hot. This is really hot.
That's hot. Of course, you can look at all of our Hot Topics on our own playlist on IGTV. So, Hot Topics. There is a call for prides to become more family-friendly. Turn the volume down on sexuality and kink way down to make pride appropriate for everyone.
No.
Mario, we know that your whole career started. Wait a minute. And Lyle, we know that your shirtless selfies and, there's a little sexual flair added to your brand. And Adam, you seem very conservative to me, especially with your Facebook groups with, women watching animals.
You know what?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love everyone. Really, as a Canadian.
Oh my!
You guys do love everybody.
How diplomatic.
Yes.
How diplomatic.
I like the raunchy. I appreciate it. I don't need to be doing it, but I appreciate it.
I love everyone too.
I'm sure you do it behind closed doors. Let's
Or
because if
did
you're
you
not,
find my
yeah.
pic? You didn't Google me. Did you Google? Did you X-rated Google me?
No.
Maybe you'll find something.
Okay. Hung. Okay, but here's the topic, and I will play devil's advocate to whatever you bring up. I have a feeling what you gentlemen are going to say, but I want you to give your opinion on this hot topic.
All right. Well, this particular, I think that the kink scene in particular has a very integral, important part of queer history and queer culture. I think it's certainly essential to be celebrated, and those people deserve a voice.
Absolutely.
It's part of accepting, all the aspects of our community, including kink, which is part of our history. So, yeah, I fully celebrate it. I just love any group of people that has the bravery and is willing to accept who they are in all aspects of themselves and celebrate it. I love big groups of people that celebrate their freedoms.
Absolutely.
But
There's
during
absolutely
a
no
pride
shame in it at all.
But if I brought my 7-year-old daughter that I've adopted, why should they be witness to, at 11 a.m., to some kink being played out to nude men when I haven't even had that kind of conversation? I believe
parents
my child
should have those conversations with their children.
Absolutely.
So
At
I think
11
that
years
it's your responsibility, if you're going to be a parent, to have those conversations. Again, sexuality is completely normal. It's healthy. It's innate in all of us. So I think it's important to accept that and be able to have open dialogue with your children about sexuality. It is part of the life existence.
I feel like, too, if you're bringing your child out to a gay pride event at 11 years old, you're going to have to educate them in some sort of way. You know what I mean? If they're there, you've got to have prepared them for, you know what I mean? If you're so open-minded, then you're going to have to accept the community.
And also,
like
if you set up sexuality as a taboo, as if there's
Right.
somehow something wrong with it or some sort of shame in it, it's very dangerous.
Right.
Shame is something that, eats us from within. It's one of the greatest torturers in our society.
Right.
It's a very dangerous thing. And we do live in this sort of puritanical right-wing leaning world where there's all this shame around who we are sexually, and there shouldn't be. I think that's a really horrible aspect of the world we live in. And I think children are very cool. They can handle it. Have an open dialogue with them. They can deal with it. It's not weird for them unless you make it weird for them.
All right, so let me bring a different aspect. We know this last administration has crippled our community, right?
Right.
It's made people take sides where they didn't normally take sides. So in our striving to build bridges and open communication with other groups, is that really the best way to start having communication with a conservative side by, look at us having sex in public with this leather? Is that really what we are showing our pride in?
Honestly, I really have no interest in appeasing or kowtowing to this group of people anymore. I don't even think there really is, not to get too political, a Republican Party anymore. It's really about whether we believe in equality for everyone, or you're essentially, a selfish racist. I'm sorry, I'm simplifying it at this point.
There was a study that came out today, timely. 70% of all Americans agree with LGBTQ rights, marriage equality, and that gay people can adopt children as well, which is a very big
But that doesn't mean that they need to
topic.
see half-naked people dancing in
But
the
then
streets.
the other part of it, I think the other, the other part of it is, we need to just enlarge what that parade is. I'll tell you, I grew up in Canada. I didn't know a gay person. I didn't have a gay person.
You're all gay up there.
But then I just didn't have anyone in my family. I never saw that, and my references were Will and Grace, Grindr, and Gay Pride Parade.
Right.
That was my reality, and so it would also be nice. I love Gay Pride Parade. I feel so proud to see people. I get the chills all over my body just knowing what my experience was.
Right.
And I think all of us have been in a Pride Parade at some point.
Well, when I hear
in
you,
our life.
But it lacks something, though, because it's missing. Not every gay person identifies that way. It showcases a part of the community, but I think that they should also, make the effort to have, I don't know.
In my experience, parades have showcased quite a nice, diverse group of queer people and their allies and their family and people who support them. So I don't really see it like that. And when I hear a statement like they don't need to see half naked people, I think to myself, well, why? What's wrong with the human body? Nudity is a beautiful, natural thing.
Have you seen mine lately, Mario Diaz?
I love your body,
Girl,
baby.
celebrate it. Celebrate it.
Floaty.
Absolutely.
And I just think we need to fight all of these stigmas that we have around our sexuality, around our nudity. I think these are all. It would be such a healthier world.
But we're trying to also protect our trans rights and all of these kind of things. We're gay, we're queer, we're this, we're that. We're such a melting pot of different things, and if we're going to shy away from anything that the heterosexual Republican or whoever the fuck wants to change who we are and how we celebrate ourselves, our sexuality, then we're losing to what they... Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Then it's what they want.
But it would be nice. Like I mean, I don't go to every gay pride parade, but I would like to also see floats with amazing LGBTQ doctors and researchers and
those exist. They always have.
I just don't see enough of that at these parades, and it would be nice to open the doors. Also to say like this could be you. You can be the president of this. You can be. It can be anything you want, and I think that these gay pride parades are so much fun. I love them, but I don't see enough of other people.
It's funny because I always notice and take great note when I see the the police officers,
the lawyers,
the doctors, bankers, and the lawyers, and then the parents of the queer people.
One float of among 100 floats.
Well, that just depends on who wants to come out to celebrate.
Right.
I mean, we can't really force people to celebrate.
Okay, but here's also what happened.
Listen, I saw Methodists and floats, like the Christians, the Jesus, like they were in there.
And you think about all the years of oppression and suppressing who we are and what we've been through historically. Yes, we have had to sort of wave our freak flag and just be like, yes, we are sexual people. We own it. We're going to celebrate it. It's part of why we need pride, is because we have been kept down for so long, and still there are places in the planet where people are being killed, and where it's illegal for being queer. And
I agree with that.
it's a terrible thing. And I say, throw the sex in your face. Let's normalize it and be okay with it. And not be offended by a little skin.
Absolutely, because remember as well, when we're kids, we see a sex movie come on and we like cringing in our skin.
Right, it becomes a taboo.
Do you know what I mean? Already,
it becomes even more enticing.
Created that in our minds. Sexuality can't be you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
is it appropriate for any age child though?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, I don't like if
you're created having sex, baby.
The world we live in now.
I don't think a 5-year-old needs to see that.
Okay, no, right.
I'm not.
Well, that's
saying
a parent's responsibility.
Absolutely,
I agree.
Certainly.
So maybe there should be pride events that are just for family. We're having this family kind of gathering from noon to 2. Or,
right.
I certainly don't think we need to be editing the sexuality aspect of pride, or add any more stigma to what we deal with already.
Here's what I will say. I'm gonna rephrase what I said a few seconds ago. I think when I got into like young adulthood and I'd still watch a movie and the sex scene came on, I'd kind of cringe and want to crawl into my at young adulthood as a man, I shouldn't be feeling that way about my sexuality. We should supposed to be celebrating our sexuality, sex, all of that kind of thing. We make it taboo. We've made it.
It's true. I mean, think about
like all these religions have made it so.
And think about how it affects the lifestyles of like
ridiculous.
young women with body dysmorphia issues and eating disorders. All of this is based around that puritanical idea that nudity is bad and sex is bad, and when we all carry this equally, this is about as normal as breathing.
Okay, so I just want to say this. So I play devil's advocate for Hot Topic because I agree. Here's the thing. Growing up, I remember, and you look at any billboard, you look at Instagram, you look at what's not being banned, and it's women that are half naked. Right. It's women in underwear.
Lizzo is doing the thing on TikTok.
Meanwhile, I'm suspended every other day.
Life.
Exactly.
And so we are exposed to sexuality early on, but the sexuality that we are shown early on is usually it's about the female figure being in everything from morning shows to soap operas, and so we are being exposed to that sexuality.
Right.
It's the gay sexuality that it becomes a problem. It's
Right.
like, wait a minute, I've had to look at this all my
I
life.
honestly
I
do
mean, how
believe
many
that there-
times in a sex, you see the boobs and everything, and
Right,
all you
right,
want to
right.
see
My
is
first
a little
naked
bit of
person I
hard
saw in a movie was
something.
a topless. And it
Yeah,
was like
no.
a PG-13 movie.
Well, I know they're
right?
trying to normalize, full frontal male nudity in films a little bit more now.
Amen.
These days.
They are doing it.
Finally. But I must
you,
say
Michael
that I
Fassbender.
do find that on social media, even personally from my experience, that there tends to be this little bit of a homophobic aspect to it. I certainly
Absolutely.
know that I'm getting stuff reported and
queens are
removed
getting
all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yet I do see a bias there. There's
Right.
definitely an imbalance. There needs to be a better way of monitoring these things.
And let me tell you something. I feel like Instagram is also dying because of it. Because also the gays rule Instagram. Let's be honest.
Oh, honey, we love our devices.
We start the trends that everyone follows.
We get the clicks. We get the hashtags. Like you look any gay hashtag.
We're like so
is-
popular.
The
You guys-
choreography,
I
the
wanna hang out
TikTok
with us.
dances. Yes.
All right, so that has been our hot topic for On the Rocks for this Pride Month. Woohoo!
Topic.